Hey everyone, and welcome back to DJ's Corner, Just My Opinion, where we break down the most iconic moments in comic book history. We're taking it all the way back to 1963, a year that was marked by the debut of the Amazing Spider-Man series, issue number 1. But also, during this period, it was a major social change in America. We'll be diving into the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1, the comic that solidified Spider-Man's place in Marvel history. As always, I'll be bringing you the story from an African American perspective, shedding light on why this issue resonates so deeply not just with comic book fans, but anyone who's ever felt like the underdog.
Welcome to DJ's Corner, it's just my opinion. Diving into mysteries, wrestling dominion. From true crime chills to comic book thrills, I break it down for you with all the feels. DJ's Corner, just my point of view. Funny and smart, bringing something new. From villains misunderstood to wrestling views. Tune in, my friends, as the truth reviewed. Let's talk Lex Luthor, business tycoon, falling from grace, aiming for the moon. Or Harley Quinn struggling, misunderstood plight in my corner. We'll get her story right. Let's talk Lex Luthor, business tycoon, falling from grace, aiming for the moon.
Now, before we dive into the comic itself, let's set the stage. The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1 was published in March of 1963, during a time of significant social upheaval in America. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum, and African Americans were fighting for their rights and recognition. Spider-Man, a character who faces his own struggles and challenges, resonated with many readers who saw a bit of themselves in Peter Parker. Growing up, Spider-Man was more than just a superhero to me. He was someone who faced real problems, whether it was dealing with bullies, money issues, or just trying to do the right thing in a world that seemed stacked against him. In a way, his story parallels the struggles of many African Americans during the 1960s and even today, making him an unbelievable, relatable character and an inspiring figure. The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1 is packed with significant moments that set the tone for the entire series. In this issue, we see Spider-Man's first encounter with the iconic characters such as J. Jonah Jameson, the Daily Bugle hard-nosed editor, and the Fantastic Four. We also witness Spider-Man's first battle against a supervillain, the Chameleon, who tries to frame Spidey for a series of crimes. I remember revisiting this issue and reading it for the sake of this retrospective, and I was being struck by how Peter Parker, despite gaining all these incredible powers, is still struggling to be accepted by both society and even by himself. His battle with the Chameleon was more than just a fight against a villain, it was a metaphor for the fight against the perceptions and stereotypes that African Americans were battling at the time. The way Stan Lee incorporated a lot of African American struggles during the 1960s and even 70s was amazing, how he was able to touch a broader base of people, society, genders, and just overall people. He was amazing. One of the most enduring themes in Spider-Man's story is the idea, of course, when great power comes great responsibility. In The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1, Peter Parker is still grappling with the loss of his Uncle Ben and the weight of those words. This issue shows Peter is trying to find his place in the world, balancing responsibilities as Spider-Man with his everyday life as a teenager. For me, the theme of responsibility hits home. As an African American, we've always had to carry a heavier load, often to prove ourselves more than others. Spider-Man's journey was a reminder that even in the face of adversity, we have the power to shape our own destiny. But we also have the responsibility to use that power wisely. Those words resonate. The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1 did not just launch a successful comic book series. It helped establish Spider-Man as a cultural icon. This issue marks the beginning of Spidey's long-standing presence in pop culture, influence in everything such as TV shows to movies to merchandise. Spider-Man's appeal transcends race and background, making him a hero for everyone. Spider-Man's journey has always been about overcoming obstacles, and that's something I think resonates deeply with African Americans audience and American audience alike. Seeing a character like Peter Parker who's been knocked down so many times but always has the ability to get back up is inspiring. It's a story of resilience, and that's something we all can relate to, especially in the times that we are in now. From a collector's perspective, The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1 is one of the most valuable comics out there. But beyond its monetary value, this issue remains relevant today because of its timeless themes that it explores. Whether you are reading it for the first time or revisiting it as a seasoned fan, there's always something new to discover. Even though this comic was published over 60 years ago, the lessons it teaches are just as relevant as today. It's a reminder that no matter where you come from, you have the power to rise above your circumstances and make a difference. The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1 is more than just the start of a comic book series. It is the beginning of a cultural phenomenon. This issue laid the groundwork for Spider-Man's legacy and introduced themes of responsibility, identity, and resilience that still resonate to this day. As an African American, Spider-Man's story is a powerful reminder that no matter what challenges we face, we have the power to rise above and to create our own path.